Hello, this is Abina at Cross Keys Crafts. Today with another Friday fun video because I want to show you how you can make some ornaments using wooden discs. You can use coasters. I just bought these from Amazon. Bought these about a year ago for a project and I had so many left. I'm going to link to them below. I got a very good set that also had some Sharpies and paints in it, but if you don't need that, there are plain sets as well, and I think they're worth getting. I don't know if any other craft stores in the UK do them at this time of year. I have done a little bit ahead of filming this. I have covered these on both sides, first of all with some Gesso Primer. The reason being is I didn't want the wood grain to show through, but you can also use some white acrylic paint or other white paint. Anything is possible really. It doesn't have to be this Gesso Primer. And then this is a great tip from Anne of Positively Papercraft. She showed this trick a few weeks ago. I covered these in Mod Podge just like that. I used a sponge applicator, but you can use a normal brush, and I did this on both sides. I let it dry on one side and then turned it over straight away, because in the past I would have applied my napkins. This is what we're using for that today. I would have just put the layer on and then applied the napkin, but this is not always foolproof. Quite often the napkin can tear if you've got too much glue on there. You can have wrinkles in them, and she showed a method by which you actually have this wrinkle free. So I did this all on my desk. I've got made quite a few yesterday as a batch making session here, and I just had a go at this because I hadn't tried this before. But what Anne showed is she took her napkin. Mine is, by the way, is only 2-ply, so I only had to peel one part off the back, and basically make sure the hole is at the top here. Put this onto your disc, just making sure it's flat there, and then you take your iron. I've got it on a medium heat, and I've got a bit of baking parchment which I'm putting on top, and I'm just putting this on top. And what my iron does is it basically warms up the glue, the Mod Podge, and then the napkin adheres to that, and it goes very quickly. It doesn't need a lot of time, and you can actually, if you've got an iron that is just for crafts, that's fine as well. I'm not too bothered about mine. I don't really use mine to iron clothes. I've also got a little one which I couldn't find, of course, so you can just press it down like this, and then you've got this wrinkle free. Make sure you go to the edges as well, and make also sure you have applied it to the edges. If you haven't, it's not too bad, because I'm actually personally going to put another layer of Mod Podge on afterwards, because I would like these to be sealed, and I would also like to add a bit of sparkle. So let me just put my iron away so it's safe. So the other trick I want to show you, I learned that from somebody else. I could cut around this now, but there is a much easier way. Basically take a brush. I've got some water here on the lid, and I'm just going around here, applying the water all the way around, following the shape of that wooden disc. And then I can very easily tear this off. So I'm tearing it down. Can you see how it tears? It is not perfect if you want a perfect finish, but I'm not bothered about that, because, as I said, I will go over this with my glue afterwards. But I find it helps. It does wrinkle it a bit on the edges where the water now has reached the glue area. It's not pressed down here. This is why it's important for you to pull down and not pull up. But if you don't like this sort of ragged finish, then obviously you can just use your scissors. See, I can just press this down here and then glue this down, or I go in again with my fingers. So I'm leaving that to sit for a moment because I want the water to dry, and I've prepared one ahead, and I'm going to show you. Oh, this is not the one I meant to show you. Oh, my head's not in the wrong place today. Oh, here it is, because the other one I haven't taken off yet. So I'm going to show you how you can then put another layer of the Mod Podge on with some glitter and decorate this a little bit. I have got here just some normal PVA glue with some water. I keep this in here as a mix for whenever I do some decoupaging, but you could just mix it yourself, and it doesn't have to be PVA glue. You can just use your Mod Podge, but I suggest watering it down a little bit so it's easier to apply. I've put a bit in this lid, and I have just added some iridescent glitter. Any glitter is fine, but I really like the iridescent one because it goes with all the colours and it just gives a very nice shimmer. And don't worry about this being white at the moment, this will dry clear. So for this I'm just using a brush. Choose a soft brush so you don't manipulate this napkin too much. This, by the way, is the sponge applicator I was talking about, but I don't really want any excess glitter on this, so I'm just using this fan brush here. So, and all I'm doing is now I'm basically applying the glue all over, and I'm also making sure I'm gluing the edges down. I will put another picture on the back once this is dry on the front, so when the ornament hangs on the tree, I'm sure that it looks nice from both sides. So I'm trying to not get my finger on the napkin, because the last thing you want is for it to stick onto your finger. And it does get a bit wrinkly at the top here where I've put more glue on, but sometimes they disappear again, the wrinkles, once it dries. Can you see the shimmer on this? I think this is really nice. So I will leave that to dry. I will make a few more, and then I'll just quickly show you how I would decorate this. My ornament has dried now from both sides, and as I said before, we've got a few little pleats there or wrinkles, but not too bad actually. So, and the sides are all sealed off. If you wanted to embellish this a bit more, you could use a metallic pen on the outside. You could put more sparkles on there. You can even put some foil on it if you use the two-way zig glue, you know, any tacky glue, you could do that. But I want to keep mine as natural as possible in spite of adding the sparkle here. So I'm just using my pokey tool to go through the hole here again. I'm just pushing this through so it's nice enough for me to feed this through. I'm using this jute twine that actually came with the wooden discs, but you can get this very cheaply in most craft stores. So I'm just feeding that through. And I don't want to do a lot of embellishments. First of all, I like to tie my ornaments, or the ribbon on my ornaments, right at the top first. And then I just decided to put a little bell on these. I've got a little really tiny bell, but I think this one might be a bit too small. This one is from a well-known chocolate. You might have been collecting those as well. So I might just as well use these up. So I'm just poking this through, feeding it through, twisting it, and that helps me to actually get it on. So I'll just let it sit there, and then I'll just tie another. You could tie another knot there, but I think it's fine as it is. And then I would just tie another knot here. Could obviously embellish these even more. You could add some decorations at the bottom, but as I said, I want to leave this as natural as possible. So I'll make sure I've got proper tight knot. Then I'm just cutting this off, and there we go. very simple decoration, easy to mass produce, and yeah, nearly wrinkle free. I think the reason why I got wrinkles on this again is that my mix here has got a bit too much water in it. So if you want to avoid that completely, just have Mod Podge with just a spot of water, just for you to be able to spread the glitter nicely. But I think this is really cute. I was even contemplating putting a bit more colour in where the eye is, like a pearl, liquid pearl, but I think I'll leave it just like this. Yeah, very simple decoration. If you like this decoration, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.